past weekend, Shazam hit theaters. That means we've got a new hero, and it is time to stop and rank all 7 DCEU heroes from the worst to the best. Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk about movies way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comment section to share your ranking of the DCEU heroes. Which ones do you love, which ones do you hate, and everything in between. As I go into this, I'm ranking them based off of their characterization and their character arc in the DCEU. So just because someone is one of my favorites elsewhere doesn't help them inside of this ranking right here. I also didn't include the Suicide Squad members because by definition, they are not heroes. One final thing before we get started, you can pick up this shirt and several of the other shirts that I wear inside of my videos at my merch store. You can see the link down below in the description if you're interested in one of those shirts. With that said, let's get started. In last place is The Flash. Now, I don't think that Ezra Miller did a bad job with the role. I actually found his neurotic, hyperactive version of the character kind of fun. The problem is that the writers decided to use The Flash for punchlines instead of for heroics. Early on in Justice League, it establishes that he's never really had to fight anyone and he's kind of afraid of combat, which is a pretty good setup for a character arc. Well, what does the movie do with that? During the first fight sequence, he trips and falls on his feet. Then he falls on top of Wonder Woman and his head falls between her boobs. So how does the movie pay off this storyline? Well, in the finale, it sets the Flash up to be the hero that saves a family. And just as he does this, it cuts over to a shot of Superman saving an entire building full of people. So it turns the Flash from the hero in a moment to the punchline of a joke. If they're going to treat this great character as a joke in their universe, I guess so am I. Coming in 6th place is Cyborg. Now, I don't have anything particular against this version of Cyborg, besides the spotty CGI, but there's nothing I particularly like about him either. We don't get a full origin story to help us connect with him as a character. We just jump straight into the middle of his story at a point in time where he's kind of angry about his existence. And because of the nature of his character and his current mental state, he's not particularly likable or charismatic, and the movie doesn't give him a character arc besides simply accepting his existence and joining the team. So we're essentially just left with his function inside of just one story. And at least in that movie, he does have a pivotal role inside of the finale, and he's heroic throughout the entire film, rather than just being the punchline of a joke. It's unfortunate we're probably never gonna get to see Ray Fisher get a proper story in this role. In 5th place is Batman. To be perfectly clear, Batman is one of my top 2 favorite superheroes of all time, and I actually really liked his portrayal inside of Batman v Superman. While I'm not crazy about Punisher Batman killing people with guns, I did find the idea of an older Batman who sees an alien threat and wants to do something about it rather compelling. Likewise, I thought the dialogue between Alfred and Bruce was particularly inspired, and Ben Affleck gave us the most physically intimidating and rage-driven Batman that we've ever seen. But everything interesting about the character in Batman v Superman was replaced by this milquetoast lookalike in Justice League. The cool fight scenes, captivating dialogue, and palpable rage are replaced by a sleepwalking Ben Affleck whose appearance visibly changes from scene to scene. He seems like a totally different character, and in fact, in some sequences comes off like a mad scientist driven by emotion rather than a brilliant strategist with a plan. I really think this could have and should have been a great version of Batman, and it is a shame that Justice League is the film that Affleck is leaving on. Number 4, Superman. Along with Batman, Superman is my other favorite superhero, and also like DCU Batman, I really enjoyed the Man of Steel's first appearance in this franchise. It took a little while for Snyder's reimagining of Superman to kind of grow on me, but eventually I started to really appreciate his 21st century take on the character. Man of Steel's themes about destiny and parental expectation have always resonated with me, and as he comes into his own and accepts his role inside of the universe, I always find it very satisfying. Henry Cavill, of course, looks the part and can pull off the physicality of the role, but he also manages to make the emotions feel human. But they didn't seem to know where to go from there. Man of Steel basically only shows Superman on his first day on the job. Then Batman v Superman skips right over him being an established hero and goes right to the backlash against him. And it includes a montage of Superman saving people who are frowning, intercut with news footage of people criticizing him, and then the movie ends with him dying. Justice League then gives us evil resurrected Superman, followed by aw shucks Superman for about 5 minutes in the finale, but we've never gotten to spend enough time with him as just normal, established Superman. Maybe someday, fingers crossed, Cavill and WB will figure their stuff out and we'll get a proper Man of Steel 2 and I can put him back at number 1, but as for right now, it's an incomplete and inconsistent characterization. Real quick before I give you my top 3, share your ranking down below in the comment section. My list isn't the right list, it's just my list and I would love to see yours. Also, after this video, check out this playlist up above. It has my latest and greatest DCEU rankings. Right now I'm in the process of updating all of them, so if you love this video, there's something in there you'll enjoy. Kicking off the top 3 is Aquaman. In Justice League, he was mostly just a bro with superpowers and unclear motivations and a really funny scene involving the lasso of truth, but his standalone film did a great job of fleshing out his backstory, his worldview, and giving him a powerful character arc. At his core, he's a reluctant hero torn between two worlds, unsure of his place in this world. All of that backstory informs his actions inside of Justice League and makes him a better character inside of that film. Also, it gives him a unique hero's journey in this film. Through this film, he must accept his unique place inside of the world, which makes him a hero for planet Earth, but a king to his people. The cherry on top is his lively personality. Jason Momoa is basically just playing himself as a superhero, but it fits the character that they've crafted, the world that they've created, and they've made someone that's very likable that you'd like to spend time with. Our runner-up is Shazam. Naturally, he's the most unique character on this list as he's a child in a superhero's body. As many have pointed out, this is essentially big as a superhero movie, and this creates a scenario where our lead character gets to be put in all kinds of outrageous and fun scenarios. Zachary Levi is absolutely up for the task. He can pull off the immaturity and the antics of a child. He has that frantic ADD energy, and it gives him the opportunity to be the funniest of our heroes. At the start, he's not just a reluctant hero, he's not really a hero at all. He's a mischievous 14-year-old boy who steals money, only looks out for himself, and actually causes accidents. But what really elevates the character is that Billy Batson has a full character arc, and that's what informs his journey as a hero. He's a lost child looking for a family, and while gaining powers is a pretty big life change, the thing that actually transforms him is his new foster family. That's what makes him a better person and an actual hero. All of this leads to a third act where Billy's story about family and our hero adventure come together for a showdown that's fun and it's funny. All of this makes for one of the most satisfying and complete character arcs inside of the DCEU. But in first place is Wonder Woman. Prior to the film's release, I was one of the scoffers arguing that there's no way to pull off Wonder Woman in a live action film. The character was too goofy and silly looking with too weird of a set of powers for it to work on film. Well, Zack Snyder and Patty Jenkins proved me very wrong. Gal Gadot does a fantastic job of playing the character as strong and confident while also being naive and feminine. She plays the character very differently and is powerful in different ways from our male heroes. A big part of what makes the character work is the world building surrounding Themyscira. They found a way to mix in and blend this world created by mythical gods in with World War I as well as modern times. Wonder Woman is our eyes into this fascinating society, and she's the one spreading their teachings and ideas throughout these films, and this gives her character not just a character arc, but a philosophical one. Also, by introducing her character inside of Batman v Superman as this returning hero, it added these extra layers on top of her arc inside of her own film. In the end, they crafted an intriguing character, put her in an interesting world, and over the course of several films gave her a compelling and consistent arc. So she comes in at number 1. Be sure to check out that playlist right over there for some of my other DCU rankings. Check out that link down below in the description if you want one of these killer t-shirts. Thank you so much for watching, and keep talking movies too much.